Alright. After a big long hiatus, Baconman is back in the game. Doing an arcade playthrough / character breakdown of the Fatal Fury team. One of the classics that's seen it through the whole way through, and a major staple for a lot of players. I'm going to see if I can do a character by character breakdown without having to resort to practice mode, but we may have to do a couple things there too. Yeah, the game has nice colorful dialogue. It's really pretty freaking funny, especially if you followed it through the series, but generally your main lead-ins will be your close-range fierces. Terry's is always, you're always going to want that close-range fierce. It's a two-hitter that you can chain to a forward A, or a forward light punch. And then upon hit confirming, it cancels to most of his special moves. Or it usually does. Yeah. That's pretty much going to be the bread and butter major setup. Jump-ins against ground, you're going to want to use the hard kick mostly. Maybe some hard punches for a real deep, for the deep jump-ins. Then, crouching light kicks are good for zoning players. You can get 3 of them out. And the power geyser, naturally, is going to be a major anti-air player. Light kicks also, you can chain 2 of them into a rising otaku. And a rising tackle. Yay. Or chatterboxing. I completely forgot about that going into this. But yeah, if all else fails, the close range fierce will cancel into just about any special. So that's going to be your the bread and butter thing you're going to want to go for. As many of those close range fierces as you can. Jumping light kicks are good for cross-ups that set it up usually. Or they might have changed it to fierces in this. Usually light kicks were good for cross-ups and older ones. I didn't even notice how different that was this time. But yeah, your close range fierce punch is always going to be Terry's best friend, unless you're playing Mark of the Wolves, in which case the fierce kick does the same thing. Okay. Next we're going to bring in Andy. As aforementioned in the last video, he is a combo monster in this game because while Terry's moveset mostly takes his feet off the ground and he doesn't have a lot of moves to use in the air, a lot of Andy's keeps him on the ground, like especially as a shadow slicer, which makes it far easier. Yeah, there's little target actions that will give you extra meter. Usually extra skill gauge or super bar for pulling them off. Yeah, a lot of the game is focused on rush downs and canceling from close range, heavy punches and heavy kicks, as opposed to your normal jabs to hards. K-Team is another one of my favorite teams. It take a little bit of practice to get down. But yeah, you see, Andy's forward A is a much better example of how you can cancel. I don't know why Terry's is so stiff in this game. Also usually like 3 different ranges you can jump. You can do like short jumps, normal jumps, and if you do like a super style, something like a super jump, but it just catches you a little more hang time and a lot more horizontal distance. See, like short jumps aren't super short in this game, although they can be. You know, like you can sort of dash jump for a little extra. Yeah, one thing you're gonna want to watch for with a certain couple characters like Maxima, you have auto-guarded supers. In groove, if you're playing CVS 2, in groove is a good groove for getting the hang of this game. Now we'll go to the third round. We'll cover a little bit of Joe Higashi, the other character in this team you can play from CVS 2. And he plays very similar to CVS 2's, except again, a little less on the footsies and more on the zoning. And one thing about him, he is super mobile. Half circle forward kick slash kicks are a great way to get around, and then the reverse gives you like a nice little overheadish arc. He's got a forward low kick that he can cancel his fierces into, his close fierces. That's going to be his main combo linker. Yeah. Just the cheesy Chun-Li-ish thing. Okay, yeah, you can push down forward and light kick to do that slide too, by the way. It's kind of like the alternative. It's kind of like doing chain combos backwards, actually. You do the close range fierce to your light follow-ups. And yes, Iori Yagami, if you couldn't tell already, does not play like his usually CVS counterpart, because as part of the story before this, Ash took away his fire ability. So his moveset has been almost entirely changed to reflect the change in style that comes with it. His super's about the same, but you'll notice no fire at all. This is a plot device, and there's an alternative form of Iori available for download that has the moveset you see in CVS 2. So if you're expecting him to play with that, you know, the backwards Rekkas or the Dragon Punch, you're going to be sadly mistaken. He plays like a totally different character. He plays a lot more like Freeman from Mark of the Wolves. Meanwhile, Vice here, if you played CVS, you know, like, some of her foundation, but she does play a lot different in this too. Like her elbow follow-up is an actual jumping slam instead of the thing that just reaches up. Like that. See, she does an actual jumping slam. She does have the kick move, I believe, that slash and kick. And the thing that would normally like grab you and throw you across the screen will now just pull you to her, where she can do her other command grabs. Makes it a little friendlier. And yeah, apparently my Joe is a little rusty because Balls fails. The crouching fierce does have a decent priority and will still cancel on hit confirming. Still not as good as his close standing fierce. But it'll do in a pinch. But yeah, with Terry Bogard, your fierce punch is going to be your best friend. Plain and simple. Honestly, I've been meaning to make this video for about a week now, but some problems with some friends and their family came up, and it's just been a big old mess and cluster schmuck. And I'm amazed at the rate that you people like Maximilian and Northern Lion can continue to just crank out your awesome gameplay vids. I know you do a big bunch of videos all at once, but I'm kind of working on a little 4 meg video, a little 4 meg card right now. Instead of recording directly to my computer, and even my computer, as you saw from my Isaac, if you've seen my Isaac playthrough, even my computer is a little old and dated. But yeah, the fact that you guys have time, can just crank out a constant stream of vids like that are all nicely edited and detailed. I mean, I just have the utmost respect for that. That is so much work. Because even still, like, I'll record about 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay. It takes about an hour to process and format, another 4 to upload to YouTube. And I don't even have any fancy video editing like a nifty intro or like actors and so forth, or guest stars very often. Yes, there's always a little bit of plot dialogue about halfway through, unless it's a dream match version. That is one thing, like, ever since, like, SVC Chaos, SNK has been pretty dang good on the pre-fight dialogues. Doesn't happen in every game, but when they do, a lot of them are pretty good. Have some inside jokes between long-term characters and players. Yeah, the EX, I forgot all about that. EX Hurricane Upper. And that thing chips pretty good. So even if you're not going to... That quarter circle back kick, even if you're only going to connect for chip damage, it chips pretty good. The chin in the hands of an experienced player can be a tremendous pain in the butt. Especially when they learn to take advantage of his flaming drinking moves. Oh. He's not as bad in this version as he is in other versions, but he certainly has a good reputation for a reason. Okay, and yeah, I just totally walked right into that. The jabs have good priority in this. Man. Yeah, I'm getting a little sloppy rusty, but I'm getting back into it. Yeah. Well, the characters always seem to control pretty similarly. They change a couple details every now and then, or every couple years, trying to just fine-tune a good balance. Oh, wow. That was unexpectedly guard-breaking. Ah. Oh, no, Neomax. But yeah, you can also EX the supers with both buttons to get level 2 supers. I admittedly don't use them as much as maybe I should. Haha. Kim. Now there's a character you should kind of recognize from CVS 2. But Kim tends to bounce back and forth. Well, now he can do his half moon kick in the air, as you can see, which gives him a whole nother dimension to his irritatingness. And then, like, the dive kicks, they always kind of swap back and forth between two varieties of them. One where he just kind of lands on your head and then rapidly kicks you. And then the other where he dives all the way through to the ground, which is more similar to what you see in SVC Chaos and is the root of most of his infinites. So So they've tried to stray more towards the tap-tap-tappy ones, but colliding that with airborne opponents tends to be a little dodgy too. So, I don't know. Hua Zhai was like a Ryuken alternative of Joe in Fatal Fury 1. And this is the first game he's appeared in since then as like a fully playable character. He's been in a couple things like Card Fighters Clash as a card, but yeah, see. That was like an attempted example of what kind of awesome things you can do with a fully fledged drive cancel meter, a skill meter. I don't know, they do win poses every round, but you can skip them. Raiden's a little bit different, but his core moves are pretty much the same. And yeah, he's still got massive auto guard on that. Oh, crap. As you can see, he's still got some vicious game in him. I think I like this version better than the CVS2 version, personally. But it's been a while since I've actually played with them. Poisacane. You know, Raiden or Big Bear is one of those characters. It's hard to really place where he's at in the plot, but yeah, he appears just often enough to keep you, like, wondering. Okay. Yeah, might as well. It was close enough to dead. Okay, we got a new challenger. It's probably just Ash. Being a little asshole. It is. Just like in Meet the Parents. Ash old. Ash is basically a would-be Guile of the game, except with excessive flamboyance. Yeah, I don't think they got the cancelability right on Terry's Spin Fist. Maybe it's just there to act as sort of deterrent instead of the usual. And yeah, when it's 1-on-3, they usually get a major 300% life bar advantage. Although I certainly shouldn't have lost that easily. Yeah, Ash here apparently stole Yori's firepower. Which is why Yori doesn't have fire moves. Alright, that must mean we're coming up pretty close to the boss. Oh, the boss on this game. Well, the first sub-boss is immensely annoying. You can usually beat him out in raw damage, but he's basically built to make you just feel helpless and to slowly chip you away. Oh wait, no, we got one more match to go. Let's see. Bring on some more Jobro. Duo Lon here is like the Dhalsim of the game. He's also got Rekka attacks. And what they took away from Kim in his diving kick attack that does rapid hits, they gave to Duo Lon instead. So just imagine Fei Long with some Super Skrull attacks. Or Super Skrull normals. And yeah, you can do special to super cancels. Kind of like Super 3, or no, Third Strike. Super 3. The hell am I talking about? Derp. Elizabeth here is very, you know, counter-oriented character. She has one little, like, Russian uppercut move.